It is Tuesday, June 10th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. It's Kyle Mountseer. Today we're talking about May incentives are up. Lucid's battery supply chain is kind of local. And Meta is saying Gen X is where it's at, folks.
Naturally.
Don't believe all the video hype. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a little salty over that, but salty over LinkedIn's video
salty
push.
Over LinkedIn, salty over Meta, salty over all the social.
I'm not salty over Meta at all. I don't think I've ever been salty over Meta.
Actually, what was this was okay. Speaking of social platforms, and I'm about to definitely like put myself at odds. But yesterday, there was an update to the streaming platform that we use that said you could now stream to something called Kick.
What is that?
A streaming platform that makes it easy for you to find and watch content. And okay. I went to Kick, and apparently there's like a bunch of streaming. It's like a Twitch, but a little bit better organized.
What?
We can stream there, and that's a whole social platform. It's a whole thing, apparently.
Like KICK?
KICK. That's it.
Okay.
Who knew?
We're old. A lot of people apparently knew.
A lot of people,
including StreamYard. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess we're coming soon to Kick now. Nathan's back there. We're like, why not? Why not? We'll probably be the only auto industry news platform content on Kick.
First movers.
Boom. Early adopters and audience of you and me, but not even. We have a bunch of content coming out still, drip feeding out from ASOTUCON. And don't think like just because ASOTUCON was like a month ago. It wasn't even a month ago, actually. I'm looking at the calendar. It wasn't even a month ago.
Not even.
What the heck?
That feels like my mind.
Feels like a year ago. It was only 3 weeks ago. But all the conversations and the content super relevant to what's going on right now. So new episode of ASOTUCON Sessions came out and has just been released. This is our quick 10 to 15 minute quick shot podcast format that happened on the stage, on the podcast stage. This is called The View from the Next Generation with Ariane Walker of Amazon Autos and Chase Southwick and Hannah Wood from Northwood University. Kyle, did you host this one?
I got to host this one.
Yeah,
it's a must listen. And if not just for the level of energy that Hannah Wood has at all moments.
She's lit up.
She's on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get that by going to any podcast platform, searching ASOTUCON Sessions, or you can go to our YouTube channel at ASOTube, ASOTU.be. It'll bounce right there. Click on videos. You'll see it. There's also a new episode of our Auto Collabs podcast, which is our little bit longer form one, time lapsing a moldy whopper with Glenn Lundy of 800% Elite Automotive. That was a really fun conversation too. We talk about marketing, getting attention, the strategy behind it. And also, obviously, Glenn brings his typical energy and love for the industry to that. You can find that, again, same places. Search Auto Collabs or ASOTU, and you'll find it. We have a lot of stuff out there you probably haven't heard. Just like the platform Kick.
Just like the platform.
We're out here just working as hard as we can. All right, let's talk about some news. May's economic and automotive data show a market adjusting to tighter consumer budgets and lingering workforce shifts. Retail's remaining steady, but pricing sensitivity is driving a realignment in both new and used inventory strategies, according to Cox Automotive. And I love the heading they put on this now, Smoke on Cars. So this is Jonathan Smoke, his kind of weekly assessment. Employers added 139,000 jobs in May across the board, which beat forecasts, but downward revisions led to a net job loss. I don't know how that even works. There's more jobs. Oh, wait a minute. There was less jobs. Auto dealer employment, however, rose by 2,100 jobs.
Come on now.
We're still 1.1% below pre-COVID levels, but I think a lot of that is due to just the efficiency, right?
That's it.
New vehicle SAAR dropped to 15.6 million in May, which is down from the projection in April, which was 17.8. But we're still outpacing last year. I think that's the important part. Incentives averaging $3,297, which is the highest discounting level in 5 years. And the average price paid dropped to 95.7% of MSRP. So people are getting deals.
They're getting deals out there.
Used vehicle sales are down 3% month over month, but are up 4% year over year. So,
well, you can tell that manufacturers and dealers are trying to drive traffic with pricing incentives. Obviously, seeing the downturn that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks from April to May, heard a lot of dealers wondering where the leads are, where everything is. Again, just remember, we pulled so many people ahead in late March and April that we've got to be aware that there's going to be a 2-month lull. It's probably going to be a little bit of lull even into June. July is most likely going to rebound because manufacturers are going to go deeper and deeper on incentives, just like they already have started to. Obviously, the highest discounting level in 5 years on new cars. That's
major.
That's a talking point when you're
that actually gets us all the way back to 2019.
Yeah, when you're talking to consumers, when you're
2020
to the store, talking about the pricing incentives, talking about the incentives out there for buying. We ran the story yesterday. Amazon, all these people starting to talk about early shopping and incentivizing people to buy school supplies early.
Pulling it forward.
Same type of narrative.
I love the employment. Like I don't typically see that number. Like, hey, how many jobs did the auto industry add?
That's so cool.
I like that number. I don't know if that's been out there and I just noticed it for the first time, but we're going to keep our eye on that one because it's about the people. The 1.1% below pre-COVID levels. I mean, if you were to guess on the level of like percentage-wise, what efficiency got built into the automotive ecosystem through the COVID pandemic, I'm going to put that number in that 15 to 20% efficient when it comes to how many people it takes to run a business.
Yeah,
like
I would have thought it was less. I thought 1.1 as far as proximity to pre-COVID levels is kind of staggering to me. I would have thought we had less, and especially when you see consolidation and less dealership rooftops out there in the country, I'd have thought there'd been less. Maybe these, I don't know where these jobs are floating up. I mean, I know volume is high and profitability is high, but gosh, I'm glad that people are getting hired. But wow.
That is interesting. Yeah, like where are they coming in? Like,
yeah,
we'll take it. We'll take it. I wonder, auto dealer. Yeah, it's auto dealer employment. It's not auto industry employment. I don't know. You know what? We should text Jonathan Smoke and ask
him.
Help us.
Where'd they get hired, fam?
You are our only hope.
Maybe it's technicians. We can only dream.
Okay, speaking of dreaming.
Segue.
Time. You're not dreaming. With all the buzz around China's EV dominance of EV battery raw materials, you can't browse automotive news or anything without talking about China having a stranglehold on raw materials. Lucid surprised us all with a plan to source all of its materials domestically. Lucid's agreement with Graphite Oaks kicks off natural graphite production in 2028 from Alaska's Graphite Creek site. They've layered this with a 2024 synthetic graphite deal, a 2026 supply agreement with Sierra Resources in Louisiana, and all three deals aligning with IRA requirements, boosting eligibility for EV tax credits and reducing reliance on China, which supplies currently 90% of all the world's anode materials. Graphite One's Ohio facility will produce, get this, enough anode material for up to 2 million EVs per year.
Excited.
So excited. Lucid's interim CEO said the U.S.-focused energy strategy supports our efforts to reduce the carbon footprint of our vehicles. So Lucid's figuring a little something out over there. Maybe they're the first mover on this, but
and I appreciate that, reducing the carbon footprint of our vehicles, because there's always been this balance within EVs of like,
is it better? Right?
Is it actually better when you think about the entire ecosystem of building, of getting the
raw materials, mining it, shipping
it? The interesting thing for me here is like, 2024 deal that they've already had, a 2026 deal, and then a 2028 deal. Are they going to be able to capitalize on tax credits? Are they still going to be available? That'll be interesting. We did have a conversation, and we'll be talking about this a lot over the next couple of weeks, but Darren Doan, a good friend of ours, has been involved in a project that is proving that the auto industry is already, without EVs, one of the most green industries on the entire
I think he said
planet.
The greenest industry.
Wild.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You're about to.
You'd have thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, you're going to hear more from that. He's been producing his series Repurposed. You can find it on Amazon and YouTube and all that places. And this next season, season 3 of Repurpose, is going to have a focus on auto manufacturers. I think they did some work with Toyota, and we're going to bring you some exclusive content from that. And you never think about it, but the vehicle, the auto industry is one of the cleanest, and talked about some really cool developments, even that Toyota's made in manufacturing. So I could keep talking about that, but we're not going to, because I have work to do, because I'm from Gen X. Speaking of Gen X,
segue
time. We're out here. We're busy.
Check this out. Meta might be all in on the Gen Z vibes, but it's the boomers and the Gen Xers footing the bill for the platform. The new Barclays report reveals that older Facebook users see far more ads because they're the ones clicking to getting your old folks, fam. Facebook shows more ads to users age 45 plus due to higher purchasing power. Those age 45 to 54 see the highest ad load at 22%. Teens only see 4.3%.
What?
They're making their money on the old people with the money to like click on the ads, fam.
We also have more patience.
Andromeda and latest tailors volume by user value. 97% of Meta's revenue comes from
ads. LinkedIn's trying to make that their reality too.
Wow.
All right. So a couple things. Number one, I think Gen Xers.
No.
I feel so old. I can't remember what drop-down menu it was the other day, and it was just like 45 plus was the catch-all. I'm like, come on, you don't even give me like,
you had to catch all me there. That's crazy.
but I think it also. I mean, first of all, I'm never on Facebook. I guess I'm on Instagram. Right. I don't know if it's Facebook and Instagram. Is it considered? Do you think they're blending this together?
It's meta as a whole. Yeah.
Okay. So I just think that teenage users and Gen Z users specifically are just way less patient with waiting and what they're seeing. Gen X also much more patient when it comes to like, okay, I'll scroll through some ads. Teens are going to like, I'll find another platform, but it makes sense, right? Like the spending power, the purchasing power, the consumer data that's built up over time and knowing what I like, knowing what I'll buy, knowing what my income is and what I'm likely to move toward makes all the sense that they're monetizing this now. It will be interesting. Like I am going to pull LinkedIn into this fight. So LinkedIn, I feel like I am in a full-on propaganda machine right now whenever I get into LinkedIn because I see are promoted posts about how video is so great and performs so well. Like that's all I'm seeing. But I did ask my Gen Z son, Miles, who's 18. He said that's all he's seeing too, which makes sense that their algorithm just like, they're just trying to sell this concept that video. Personally, I'm not buying
and not just this, but this is the wild thing about the thing that LinkedIn is doing with video. You get to that, like, I don't know, if you scroll down 4 or 5, levels, you get that little video carousel.
Yeah.
And they are all like these that they're leaning into this creator thing, but they're asking creators to like talk about a lane, like why you don't like work. And then you get like 8 videos about that, right? Or whatever, work on Mondays, or these stupid videos that are all single threaded. They're trying to prompt creators into specific thread types. It is an absolute show. So between
you forgot the word in front of it.
I was trying.
I hope it comes around. I know between Meta's figured it out, right? Like LinkedIn's obviously going to try to monetize B2B advertising, which I think is an incredibly powerful platform. I've always thought they under-indexed on like bringing real things, B2B, or just like high net worth audiences gathered on LinkedIn, like selling all types of things. I do think that like a little too early for like trying to make like Gen Z, like most people aren't on LinkedIn looking to complain about work. People aren't. That's like what they have like TikTok for. Like they're on LinkedIn to enrich their career, to, cultivate network and relationships and grow that way. So when I see a video carousel that the headline is like, I swear I took screenshots. I'm starting to take screenshots because they're so hilarious. Like here's the headline: when you and your bestie get up at the same time for a bathroom break.
Oh.
It's like, I'm going to go to a different platform now, which is funny because you've been using Lovable. We've been like tinkering around with this vibe coding thing. I saw a Lovable prompt today, how to build a Spotify clone in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And plug in the Spotify API. Right. And so now I'm like, I've always thought like, maybe it's time for a new platform where building community, networking, and professional development are at the core again. Because obviously, like LinkedIn's migrating off of that as the core, or at least the propaganda machine feels like that. Maybe they'll realize like people are bouncing from the platform and the new users don't, don't have the money to spend, right?
I can't tell. Paul's a little upset.
I haven't thought about this at all, actually.
You know what I'm upset about, Paul?
I love my friends at LinkedIn
throwing out their design and accessibility guidelines and basically being like, you know what? Put this glass thing on there. You'll never be able to read anything again.
Steve Jobs is rolling in his grave this morning. I mean, they had to try to do something to distract from the lack of AI development or lagging.
Literally. I read 3 headlines this morning. Apple goes quiet on AI.
Well, all they said was they basically, apparently there was one moment when they mentioned it and he said it still needs work, and the stock dropped like 3% within like 2 minutes of them saying that.
Of course.
I mean,
it's crazy.
I want Apple AI to be so good. But I just want it to be so good.
Terrible. Serious. So bad.
It's just so bad.
So bad.
Ow. I don't know. I guess today was our technology and gripe session, and we talked about some news in automotive, but whatever else, it's all the same. You have to take care of the person next to you and the person in front of you, and everything else gets a lot better from there.